Hey everyone, and welcome to a deep dive, especially for you Vintage Car Chronicles fans listening.
Yeah.
We're gonna look at the life and career of Jean Ragnotti,
Oh yeah.
a true legend in French motorsport.
He's a driver who really embodies that mix of raw talent and pure entertainment
Right.
that makes motorsports so captivating.
Yeah.
And what's especially fascinating about Ragnotti is his journey, from
Yeah.
humble beginnings, a truck driver,
Wow.
to a Renault icon,
Yeah.
all while mastering car control with a signature style
Oh yeah.
that earned him some pretty memorable nicknames.
Like the Acrobat,
It's exactly.
the dealer of corners.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm dying to hear about those. But
Oh, yeah.
but first, let's rewind to the beginning. So
Yeah.
I know he didn't exactly come from a racing family or anything like that.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Ragnotti's story begins in the 1960s
Okay.
with a young Jean absolutely captivated by cars, despite his modest upbringing. We're talking about a kid so determined that he saved up from his truck driving job
Bro.
to buy his first competition car,
Really?
a Renault 8 Gordini.
A Renault 8 Gordini. That's a pretty serious car.
Oh,
For
absolutely.
someone just starting out, I mean.
Yeah, it speaks to his
Yeah.
dedication and his passion right from the start.
Was his talent obvious right away?
You can definitely see the natural talent shining through.
Yeah.
In 1967, at the Rally Petrol d'Istres, he snagged third place overall.
Wow.
But here's the kicker. He came in first in Group 2.
Group 2. I'm not super familiar with all the racing classification.
No problem. Group 2 was essentially for highly modified touring cars.
Okay.
So, meaning the competition was fierce.
Right.
So for Ragnotti to win his class in just his second rally ever, that's a clear sign of his potential.
That's impressive. So what happened next? Did he jump right into professional racing?
Well, he kept building momentum.
Okay.
1968 was a busy year with events like the Rallye du Vaucluse and even the Coupe Gordini at Pau. Okay.
But it wasn't until 1971 that he officially went pro.
And was rallying his main focus from the get-go.
Rallying became his true passion. It's where his unique driving style could really shine.
Mm-hmm.
He saw early success with Opel,
Right.
even putting in a strong performance at the 1970 Monte Carlo Rally.
Oh, wow.
But his most legendary partnership was forged when he returned to Renault.
The start of a beautiful friendship, right? I know he went on to win the Monte Carlo Rally with Renault in '81.
That's right, and it was a historic win.
Yeah.
He was driving the Renault 5 Turbo, and it was the first time a turbocharged car took the top spot
Wow.
in a World Rally Championship event.
So he was not only winning,
Right.
but also helping to push the boundaries of the sport. Right?
Absolutely, yeah, groundbreaking stuff.
So can we talk a little bit more about that driving style that earned him those nicknames?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Ragnotti wasn't just about speed, he was a showman.
Okay.
He was known for this incredibly flamboyant and aggressive style.
Right. Often using the handbrake to pull off these dramatic turns.
Yeah.
Picture this. He'd come flying into a corner,
Right.
flick the handbrake, and send the car into a perfectly controlled slide.
It sounds almost choreographed.
Almost, yeah.
Like, I can see why the fans loved it.
Exactly. Pure entertainment.
Yeah.
And he wasn't just a skilled driver.
Hmm.
He was known for being incredibly down to earth
Oh, well.
and engaging with the fans.
Right.
There are stories about him stopping for autographs just moments before a race.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It seems like his connection with the fans was really genuine,
Oh, yeah.
and that kind of charisma is rare. But he didn't just stick to rallying, though, did he?
You're right.
I know he had a pretty diverse career.
Ragnotti's ambitions went far beyond just rally stages.
Okay.
He dipped his toes into rallycross,
Ugh.
even becoming the French champion in 1977 with the Alpine A310 V6.
The Alpine A310 V6. Now, that's a car I wouldn't mind taking for a spin.
Beautiful car.
Didn't he also compete in the 24 Hours of Le Mans?
He sure did.
And his Le Mans record is pretty impressive. He competed in 7 of them.
Wow.
And between 1977 and 1979, he achieved 3 consecutive top 5 finishes.
Wow. 3 consecutive top 5 finishes.
Yeah,
That's incredible, especially when you consider that Le Mans was a completely different beast compared to rallying.
absolutely.
Right.
Rallying requires a very specific skill set,
Right.
focusing on car control and speed over uneven terrain.
Yeah.
Le Mans demands a different kind of endurance, both of the driver and the car.
It makes you wonder what he couldn't do behind the wheel. Didn't he also try his hand at the Paris-Dakar rally raid?
He did.
Yeah.
In 1980, he took on the Paris-Dakar, finishing a very respectable 9th.
Wow.
And this is a period when the Dakar was truly a brutal test of man and machine.
Right.
with unforgiving terrain and extreme conditions.
So from twisty rally stages to the high-speed endurance of Le Mans and the grueling desert landscapes of the Dakar,
Yeah.
it sounds like he had this unquenchable thirst for pushing limits and mastering new challenges. That's a great way to put it.
Didn't he also win like 2 French Rally Championships?
He did. He was a 2-time French Rally champion,
Yeah.
taking the title in 1980 and 1984.
That's amazing how he managed to maintain that level of success
Yeah.
across such a wide range of motorsports.
Yeah.
Was there a specific car or even a type of car that he seemed to prefer?
Well, his name is practically synonymous with Renault.
Yeah.
And there's a good reason for that.
Right.
He achieved a lot of his most iconic victories behind the wheel of a Renault.
Right.
But he also had a deep connection with a particular type of engine.
Hold on, let me guess. Turbocharged engines. Given his historic win at the '81 Monte Carlo Rally, I'd say he had a knack for taming those powerful beasts.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
Ragnotti was a true pioneer in rally driving with turbocharged cars.
Okay.
He wasn't afraid to wrestle with the turbo lag and exploit the raw power those engines provided. It was a driving style perfectly suited to his aggressive approach.
So he was winning, he was entertaining the crowds, and he was pushing the boundaries of the sport with new technology.
Yeah.
That's a pretty impressive legacy.
It is. It is.
Did he just retire quietly after all those victories?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Even after he officially retired from professional competition in 1996,
Okay.
he didn't just disappear from the world of motorsports.
No. Okay.
He continued to be an ambassador for Renault, actively participating in events like the World Series by Renault
Right.
and even historic rallies.
It seems like he just couldn't stay away from the track.
No.
It's clear that his passion for driving never faded.
Exactly. And Renault recognized his contributions to the brand in a big way.
Okay.
They even released a special edition Renault Clio RS 2.0L in his honor.
Wow.
How cool is that to have a car named after you?
That's the ultimate tribute.
Yeah.
It really solidifies his status as a Renault legend.
It does.
And it speaks to the kind of impact he had on both the sport and the brand.
Yeah.
It wasn't just about driving talent. It was about embodying a certain spirit.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
But what I find most interesting is how his career spanned such a pivotal era in motorsport history.
Right.
You know?
He witnessed a period of significant change, starting out when rally cars were relatively simple, mechanically focused machines.
Right.
By the end of his career, technology had advanced considerably,
Right.
and the cars were becoming much more complex.
So how did he navigate that shift?
Well,
Did he adapt to the new technology, or did he prefer the more raw mechanical feel of those earlier cars?
that's a fantastic question,
Yeah.
and one we'll explore in more detail as we continue our deep dive into the fascinating world of Jean Ragnotti.
Oh, okay, sounds good.
I think Ragnotti's approach to that shift, with the technology and the cars,
Right.
reveals a lot about his driving philosophy. He wasn't afraid to embrace new technology,
Yeah.
as evidenced by, his mastery of turbocharged engines.
Right, right.
But he always emphasized the importance of the driver's connection with the car.
That makes sense, especially given his background, those early years
Right.
driving a Renault 8 Gordini,
Exactly.
a car known for its responsiveness and driver feedback.
Yeah.
That must have instilled in him
Yeah.
a deep appreciation for that mechanical connection.
Exactly. He often talked about how those early cars taught him to truly feel the car,
Yeah.
to understand its limits, and to work in harmony with the mechanics rather than simply relying on brute force or
Oh, yeah.
electronic aids.
It suggests that his success wasn't just about talent or adapting to new technology.
Right.
It was about this, like, building this deep understanding of the car's behavior
Yeah,
and using that knowledge to just extract the most performance possible.
precisely. He once said that a good driver should be able to win in any car, regardless of the technology.
Wow.
And his career seems to prove that point.
Yeah.
He achieved victories in a variety of cars, from the classic rear-wheel drive machines
Right.
to the more complex turbocharged four-wheel drive rally cars
Right.
that emerged later in his career.
It's a testament to his adaptability.
Yeah.
And that core understanding of car dynamics
Yeah.
that he developed early on.
Absolutely.
It's like a musician who can play any instrument, regardless of its complexity,
That's a great analogy. And speaking of playing, we can't forget about Ragnotti's incredible showmanship.
Oh, yeah. Those
Those signature 360-degree spins weren't just about going fast. They were
Well,
about putting on a show for the fans.
those spins were legendary.
Oh, yeah.
It seemed like he could effortlessly whip the car into a perfect circle,
Yeah.
even in the midst of a fierce rally stage, you know?
Right in the middle of it.
Did he just have a natural knack for that, or was there more to it?
Well, his natural talent certainly played a role,
Right.
but there was also a deliberate strategy behind those spins.
Okay.
Early in his career while driving for Renault, he actually helped develop a handbrake,
Wow.
specifically designed to make those 360s smoother and more controlled.
He helped design a handbrake for doing donuts.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
It shows just how dedicated he was to entertaining the crowd, you know?
It speaks volumes about his mindset. He wasn't just focused on winning.
Yeah.
He understood that motorsport was also about entertainment,
Yeah.
about giving the fans something to remember.
And he certainly succeeded in that regard.
He did.
Those spins became like his trademark,
Yeah.
this visual representation of his playful, rebellious spirit, you know?
Speaking of rebellion, let's talk about another side of his career that showcased his incredible car control,
Okay.
his time as a stunt driver.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, he worked with the legendary stunt coordinator Remy Julien,
Okay.
doubling for actors like Alain Delon and Jean-Paul Belmondo in some pretty big action films.
But I had no idea he had a stint in the movie world.
Yeah, it's another.
From rally stages to movie sets, it seems like there wasn't much he couldn't do behind the wheel.
It's a testament to his versatility and fearlessness.
Yeah.
Stunt driving requires a different kind of precision and control, you know? Anticipating how the car will react under extreme conditions.
Right.
It's almost like a choreographed dance. You have to hit your marks perfectly, execute those maneuvers with absolute precision,
Right.
all while maintaining a sense of safety for yourself and the crew.
And Ragnotti clearly had the skills and the temperament to thrive in that environment.
Oh, yeah.
He even returned to stunt driving later in his career,
Yeah.
lending his expertise to Luc Besson's Taxi film series.
Yeah, those taxi films were packed with wild car chases and stunts.
It's amazing to think that Ragnotti, a rally legend,
Yeah.
was behind some of those memorable scenes.
It just goes to show how his driving talent transcended the world of motorsport.
His skills were universal, and his willingness to embrace those opportunities to push himself in new and unexpected ways
Yeah.
is really inspiring.
It's a reminder that even when you reach the pinnacle of success in one field, there's always room for exploration, growth, and new challenges.
Well said. And his willingness to try new things is also reflected in his approach to different types of racing.
Right.
We've talked a lot about his rallying career,
Yeah.
but his participation in the 24 Hours of Le Mans reveals a lot about his adaptability as a driver.
Absolutely.
So we touched on his impressive Le Mans record earlier,
Yeah.
but I'm curious to dive a bit deeper.
Okay.
What were some of the specific cars he drove in that race?
He had the opportunity to pilot some amazing machines at Le Mans.
Yeah.
In 1977, he drove a Renault Alpine A442,
Okay.
a powerful prototype sports car specifically designed for endurance racing.
The Renault Alpine A442, that must have been quite a change.
It was.
From the rally cars he was used to, you know.
It's a significant transition.
How did he adapt to that type of racing?
Well, it demanded a different mindset and driving style.
Okay.
Rallying is all about bursts of speed and agility over short distances,
Right.
while endurance racing is about maintaining a consistent pace for hours on end.
Yeah.
Managing tire wear, fuel consumption,
Yeah.
and the overall reliability of the car.
So it's not just about being fast, it's about being smart,
Right.
strategic,
Yeah,
and incredibly patient.
exactly. And Ragnotti showed he had those qualities.
Okay.
He achieved a remarkable fourth-place finish in the A442 that year,
Wow.
proving his ability to adapt to a completely different racing discipline.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
It takes a special kind of driver to be successful in both the all-out sprint of rallying
Right.
and the strategic marathon of endurance racing.
It does.
Did he continue driving for Renault Alpine at Le Mans?
He did the following year in 1978.
Okay.
He again piloted a Renault Alpine A442,
Right.
though a different iteration of the car. He was
Yeah.
teamed up with some legendary drivers like Didier Pironi and Jean-Pierre Jossat.
Yeah.
And while they were running strong, a mechanical issue forced them to retire early from the race.
That's a shame. Endurance racing is so unpredictable.
It-
Even with the most talented drivers. You know, mechanical gremlins can derail even the best laid plans.
Absolutely. And those early years of Le Mans were particularly challenging in terms of car reliability.
But Ragnotti persevered.
He did.
In 1979, he was back at Le Mans.
Back at it.
This time, behind the wheel of a Renault Alpine A443.
The A443.
I'm sensing a theme here with the Renault Alpine connection.
Yeah, there's definitely a pattern there.
Was this another strong performance for him?
It was. He and his co-driver, Bernard Darniche, managed to secure another fourth-place finish.
Wow. 3 top 5 finishes in 3 consecutive Le Mans appearances.
Very impressive.
That's a remarkable achievement.
It is.
It's clear that his talents weren't limited to just rallying.
His Le Mans success also offers up a fascinating glimpse
Yeah.
into the evolving world of motorsport technology and the challenges drivers faced during that era.
Right.
The cars were far less reliable
Right.
than today's highly engineered machines, and the safety measures were significantly less advanced.
We often romanticize those early years of motorsport,
We do.
but it was a much riskier endeavor for the drivers.
Oh, absolutely.
They were pushing the limits of both technology and human endurance.
Yeah, Ragnotti himself has spoken about the demanding nature of those early Le Mans cars.
Yeah.
How they required a different kind of focus and skill.
Right.
He's talked about how drivers like Jackie Ickx and Henri Pescarolo,
Right.
known for their ability to push the car to its limits,
Yeah.
while also preserving its mechanics,
Right.
were true masters of endurance racing.
It's a delicate balance,
It is
knowing when to push for speed and when to prioritize the car's longevity.
Right.
It sounds like a mental game as much as a physical one.
It definitely requires a unique skill set.
Yeah.
And Ragnotti, despite his reputation for aggressive driving,
Yeah.
clearly had that ability to adapt and strategize in
Yeah.
the demanding world of endurance racing.
His career really showcases the breadth of his talents and his adaptability as a driver.
It does. And it also highlights an interesting aspect of motorsport history,
Yeah.
the evolving relationship between drivers and the manufacturers.
That's a great point. How did he navigate those relationships throughout his career,
Yeah.
particularly with Renault, a brand so closely associated with his success?
Well, that's a fascinating question, and one we'll explore in more detail as we continue our deep dive into the world of Jean Ragnotti.
Yeah, it seems like Ragnotti's relationship with Renault went beyond a typical driver-manufacturer partnership.
It did.
Yeah.
It was more like a family affair, yeah.
It was more like a family
So he
affair.
wasn't just a hired gun
Right.
brought in to drive their cars.
Right.
He was deeply involved in the this development process,
Oh, wow.
providing feedback to engineers, helping to shape the cars that would become icons of rallying.
His insights must have been invaluable, especially given his intuitive understanding of car dynamics
Right.
and his ability to communicate what he felt behind the wheel.
Precisely. He wasn't just a driver. He was a collaborator,
Right.
a partner in the pursuit of creating the ultimate rally machines.
And his contributions went beyond just technical feedback.
Right.
He embodied a certain spirit,
He did.
a blend of French flair and tenacity that resonated with the brand's image.
It's that intangible quality, that je ne sais quoi, that's hard to define, but you just know it when you see it.
Yeah,
And Renault clearly recognized the value of that connection.
they did. The fact that they released a special edition Clio RS 2.0L in his honor speaks volumes
It does.
about the
Ralph.
mutual respect and admiration
Yeah.
between Ragnotti and Renault.
It's like they were saying, this is more than just a car. It's a tribute to a legend who helped shape our brand.
Right, and that kind of recognition goes far beyond just winning races.
Absolutely. It's about embodying the values and spirit of a brand.
Yeah.
Becoming a living, breathing representation of what it stands for.
And even after he officially retired from professional racing,
Yeah.
he remained an active ambassador for Renault.
Right.
He participated in events, drove classic Renault, and continued to engage with fans,
Yeah.
keeping that connection alive.
It's a testament to his genuine passion for the brand
Yeah.
and his understanding that motorsport is about more than just individual achievements. It's about history, legacy, and the passing of the torch to future generations.
His continued involvement speaks to his dedication to the sport
Yeah.
and his loyalty to the brand that played such a pivotal role in his career. It's inspiring to see that kind of commitment,
It is.
even after achieving so much success.
And it highlights another aspect of Ragnotti's character that's worth mentioning, his humility.
Okay.
Despite all the victories, the accolades, and the fame, he remained grounded, approachable, and always willing to share his passion with others.
There's a genuineness about him that shines through.
Oh, yeah.
It's like he never forgot where he came from, that young truck driver with a dream of racing cars.
Exactly.
And that humility is what makes him so relatable.
I think that's one of the reasons why he remains such a beloved figure in motorsport. He connects with people on a human level, reminding us that it's not just about the trophies, the sponsorships, or the media attention. It's about the pure joy of driving, the thrill of competition, and the shared passion that unites us as fans.
And that's a powerful message, especially in a sport that can sometimes become
Yeah.
overly focused on the technical aspects, the business side,
Right.
and the pursuit of ultimate performance.
Absolutely. Ragnotti reminds us that at its core, motorsports is about human endeavor, about pushing limits, and about the pursuit of a dream, and that's something we can all relate to. Yeah.
Regardless of whether we're behind the wheel of a race car or simply cheering from the sidelines.
Well said. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the fascinating world of Jean Ragnotti, what are some of the key takeaways you hope listeners will remember?
I think the most important lesson we can learn from Ragnotti's career is the importance of embracing challenges, constantly pushing ourselves to improve, and never losing sight of the joy that comes from pursuing our passion.
Yeah, he's shown us that success isn't just about talent or luck. It's about dedication, hard work, and the willingness to step outside of our comfort zones to explore new possibilities.
He was a master of car control, a pioneer of turbocharged rallying, a versatile competitor across various disciplines, and a true entertainer who understood the importance of connecting with fans. But perhaps his greatest legacy is the reminder that motorsport at its heart is about the human spirit, the thrill of the challenge, the enduring power of passion.
Beautifully said. Jean Ragnotti's story is a testament to the idea that anything is possible with determination, a love for what you do, and a willingness to embrace the wild ride that life throws your way.
And as we conclude this deep dive, I want to thank all of you Vintage Car Chronicles fans out there for joining us on this journey.
We hope you enjoyed learning more about this incredible driver. And we encourage you to keep exploring the world of motorsports, to discover new heroes, and to appreciate the rich history and enduring legacy of this amazing sport.
And don't forget to tune in daily to Vintage Car Chronicles on Spotify for more fascinating stories from the world of classic cars and motorsport.
Thanks for listening.